Have you ever wondered how some people seem to get so much done? We all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? Well, the secret isn't about finding more time, it's about having better priorities. Today we're going to break down a really powerful framework for doing just that, the Eisenhower Matrix.
So, before we can master our priorities, we have to be honest about a trap that, let's face it, we all fall into. It's this feeling of being constantly busy. We're going to start by identifying this trap, which a lot of people call firefighting mode. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? Your day is just a blur of rushing from one thing to the next. Your to-do list is a mile long, and by the end of it, you are just completely drained. But when you look back, you think, what did I actually get done today that moves me closer to my big goals? It's such a frustrating cycle to be in.
Well, there's a name for that state of chaos, firefighting mode. It's what happens when your whole day is just spent reacting to whatever is screaming the loudest. Instead of being strategic and building for the future, you're just putting out one little fire after another. You never really get ahead.
Okay, so how in the world do we break out of that trap? The way out starts with a really simple but totally game-changing realization. Not all tasks are created equal. We have to learn the difference between what feels urgent and what is truly important.
And this is where our tool for the day comes in, the Eisenhower Matrix. It's this brilliant, simple framework that leaders and top companies use to get their teams out of that firefighting mentality and focused on what actually drives real growth.
Okay, here's the core idea. Urgent tasks, they're allowed. They're the phone that won't stop ringing, the constant ping of new emails, the colleagues standing at your desk needing something right now. They demand your immediate attention. But important tasks, they're quiet. They're the things that connect to your long-term vision, your big goals. And the whole trick is realizing that just because something is loud doesn't mean it's actually important.
Now, the full Eisenhower Matrix has 4 quadrants, but for our purposes, we're going to zero in on the 2 big ones. These are the 2 modes of work where we spend most of our time, and they're where the real battle for productivity is either won or lost.
First up, we've got Quadrant 1. This is the home of things that are both urgent and important. This quadrant is the very definition of that reactive, firefighting mode we were just talking about. This is crisis land. Think about it. A sudden major problem with a client, a huge project deadline that's due tomorrow, a real family emergency. You obviously can't ignore these things, but if you live your whole life in this quadrant, it's a fast track to stress and total burnout.
And now for Quadrant 2. This is where the magic happens. This is the proactive mode. These are the tasks that are incredibly important, but because they aren't yelling for your attention, they are just so easy to put off.
This is the zone for high-impact, meaningful work. It's where you do the strategic thinking that actually prevents future crises from happening. It's where you plan your next big move, it's where you build strong relationships, and, crucially, it's where you invest in your own skills and personal growth. Basically, everything that fuels long-term success lives right here.
So, we've looked at the what of quadrants 1 and 2. But to really make this stick, you have to embrace the philosophy behind it all, which is simply the discipline of doing what truly matters.
Just let that sink in for a second. The point of this whole framework isn't to cram more stuff into your day, it's to give you the clarity to focus your precious energy on the few things that will give you the absolute best results. Look, you're never going to get rid of Quadrant 1 completely. Crises just happen. But the more time you intentionally carve out for Quadrant 2 activities, the fewer crises are going to pop up in the first place. See how that works? Proactive planning in Quadrant 2 literally shrinks the amount of firefighting you have to do in Quadrant 1.
And when you consistently make Quadrant 2 your home base, the whole culture of your work and even your life begins to change. You find balance because you're actually in control of your schedule. You build discipline by choosing the important over the merely urgent. And those 2 things, they lead to real, sustainable growth.
All right, theory is great, but results come from action. So let's turn this whole concept into a practical tool you can start using, like, right now.
It really is this simple. First, just jot down everything you have to do. Then, for every single item, ask yourself 2 questions. Is it urgent and is it important? That tells you exactly what to do. If it's urgent and important, that's Quadrant 1. You got to do it now. If it's important but not urgent, that's Quadrant 2. You need to schedule time for it. If it's urgent but not that important, that's Quadrant 3. Can you delegate it? And if it's neither, that's Quadrant 4. Be ruthless. Just delete it. The key then is to guard that scheduled quadrant 2 time with your life.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Right now, go take a hard look at your actual to-do list. How much of it is just putting out fires, and how much is about building your future? The answer might just surprise you, and it's the very first step to taking back control of your time and, finally, doing what truly matters.